Hi again then guys, so I've got another GranTurismo 6 top speed tune for you today, and this time it's for the GT500 Honda NSX, and this particular one is the EPSON NSX, but it should work fairly the same for any of the newer generation premium GT500 NSXs. So you want your racing soft tyres as usual. For suspension we've left the ride height on 60 front and rear. Springs we've just rounded off to 1395 and 1885. Dampers and anti-roll to 4. Camber on 2.5. Neutral toe as always. For the gearbox we've got an auto setting of 242. Then for first we've got 2.8. Then second, third, fourth and fifth all the way to the left. Sixth on 0.630 with a final drive of 4. For the diff we've got the lowest initial torque, highest acceleration and lowest braking as usual. High RPM turbo obviously, and you want your downforce set as low as possible. Traction control is of course turned off. So the NSX doesn't get as much use as I would have expected, to be honest. I mean, there's a fair few people who use the NSX, but it tends to be mainly just used against other JGTC cars. Whereas the NSX is better than that. It is a genuinely great all-round racing car. I mean, it looks fantastic, it sounds great. I'd say it's one of the best sounding racing cars in the game. It has excellent handling, great acceleration. I mean, obviously that's relative because most of the JGTC cars can be tuned to around the same kind of performance. But it does, I think, perform very well, the NSX, and it just looks so good as a racing car. The proportions are just so perfect on the NSX. But anyway, that's a side note. As far as performance with this particular gear setup, it cruises at just under 240. It's actually about 239. And with draft, you should be able to draft, as you can see we're fairly close to the red line, but you should be able to draft up to maybe 250. Around 250 I would have thought with this particular setup. I haven't actually used it in top speed racing, so I can't guarantee what the drafting speed is, but it should be about 250, maybe a little bit more, but not much more. So if you do need it to do more, like 280 or 290 in draft, obviously just extend your final drive by say 0.300 or 0.400 or more, lower than it already is, to get that extra draft potential. But overall, yeah, it's a very good car. If you haven't tried a GT500 NSX before, I would recommend that you give it a go. I would not recommend buying the Stealth version though. I would not actually recommend buying the Stealth version of any of the cars on GranTurismo or the Chrome line versions because they are overpriced and overrated. And when you tune them, they're actually no faster than the normal versions, and they don't actually have any more power than the regular versions when you tune them. They have more power to begin with, but after you tune them, they're exactly the same. So if I was you, don't waste your money. But yeah, I hope you find this tune setup helpful if you do choose to use it. If you do, feel free to subscribe. I put out new top speed tunes every day. And as always, thanks for watching.